Welcome back this morning. We've all run through so many flashcards in our educational history, we can't nearly count any of them. But there's a learning center in Kansas City that says that's a waste of time anyway, and it's counterproductive. And here to explain is Tom Baker. Tom, we've been working for quite some time. This is an interesting experiment that we're undergoing because I'm the guinea pig for the way that you're teaching children to better learn and remember the material they have in class. I've been learning the presidents over the past few days here. You're teaching them to me, but how does this work exactly?
Well, Mark, the problem with flashcards is that you're using the wrong part of your brain. When you're trying to learn sequential pieces of unrelated information, you're trying to put it in this part of your brain, the temporal lobes of your brain. To really learn and remember, it needs to be spread through your brain. And the way that you do that is by connecting those pieces of information with memorable images. Now, this technique is called mnemonics, and it goes back to the 5th century BC, but it was lost in the age of BlackBerries and Post-it notes. In fact, Mark Twain had a brain training company that sold a brain training game that was not successful because it was easier then to write things down.
So we're looking at a brain scan images here, and what are we seeing on these images?
So the front part of your brain is the prefrontal cortex. That's the thinking part of your brain. That's where you make decisions. The back part of your brain is called the occipital lobe, and that's where your eyes connect. And the sides are called the temporal lobe, and that's where your ears and your auditory and your language information happens.
Okay, you've been teaching me with a way to remember it. We've got they're kind of obscure drawings, but they're a way to remember the presidents. We've gone through 20 of them so far. Take a look at some of my brain training that we've done this past week. And I guess we don't have that clip right there.
And
there we go.
the jack is jacking up the sun.
Sure. Okay.
And the bear's running, but we flipped it so Van, Bear, run.
There you go.
Harry's son.
What's he doing?
He's advertising.
There you go.
And Tyler.
What's
He's
he doing?
throwing tiles out in the air.
So we go.
So you have Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler. Those are just some of the presidents, but how do you get kids
in an
through
image
it?
that you wouldn't ordinarily think of. So you know, Jack's jacking up a sun, or a bear running into a van, or things that are different, that are novel, because your brain is programmed to forget mundane information. So for us to get it entrenched in your long-term memory, we have to do something that's novel in a way that you wouldn't otherwise encode it.
Entrenched, let's take a look at some of, I guess, my brain training as we added the metronome to this and started to kind of get some of the presidents down.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe.
Good.
Adams,
Good.
Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler.
Okay, so when I start to stumble there, you say it's important to keep going.
Well, you have a coach there. That's Russell Thorpe, our head coach, and he is working with you to measure the edge of your mistake zone, or we call it the training zone. And when you're working right at the edge where your brain is just starting to make mistakes, you're putting pressure on it, and in doing so, you're pushing those things into the subconscious. Those things that you want to know are going into the subconscious because we sped you up using a metronome to push that.
If you take some of those support devices away, it can go terribly wrong. We've seen that. And just imagine, that's myself in the newsroom, just imagine what the second grader in the classroom is feeling with all the pressure. We will have much more on that next week, right?
We had a little hiccup during our training, and
Yes,
we're going to show that next week.
All right, so thank you so much, Tom Baker, for coming in with HeartScope Learning. We appreciate it. You're going to be here for the next few weeks. This will be interesting to see. And go ahead and instead of taking one last look at the forecast, we'll go ahead and end it right there. That's all we have this morning, and we will be back tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Great. Thank you.